why not check out our website at wrestlingfatherandson.weebly.com, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to our channel.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Wrestling Fun with Father and Son. I'm Father Matt and this is Son.
Hi.
And this is the week that was WWE.
Super news.
A little bit to get through this week. There's a little bit of more happening when we get the build up to WrestleMania. Yeah, we'll start with Raw, obviously Raw Monday, 25th of March 2019. It started off basically with the announcement that the women are now going to close WrestleMania this year. The women's triple threat is going to be the main event of WrestleMania. Yeah, it's a good positive step for women's wrestling. I'm a little bit concerned about the length of WrestleMania being between 6 and 8 hours reportedly. How the crowd are going to be reacting to that match at the end, I don't know. We'll have to wait to see. But if they're a bit tired, the crowd, they won't be as engaged in that match as what I think they should be. But obviously time will tell. We'll see what happens in a couple of weeks. So yeah, so that was the first bit of news from Raw. Ronda Rousey came down and did a promo about that triple threat match. That brought out Becky to do a promo about that triple threat match, and then Charlotte did a promo about that triple threat match. Not much to the promos. They are heightening the anticipation a little bit for that match. But you know, I just think it's a little bit sort of here and everywhere. That storyline's a bit over the place, especially how Becky Lynch a few weeks ago had a knee injury. She came out, no knee injury, didn't have anything, didn't sell it, didn't limp, nothing. That knee injury has sort of disappeared for the time being.
And Triple H
Well, we'll get to that in a bit when we get through to the news. That's a bit later on. But basically they did a beat the clock challenge. Ronda Rousey went against Sarah Logan. She set a time for 1 minute 23. Charlotte then went against Ruby Riott. She didn't beat the clock, so she didn't actually win the beat the clock challenge, but she decided that she'd attack Becky Lynch before her match against Liv Morgan. But even though she attacked her, she beat the clock. Becky Lynch beat Liv Morgan and won the beat the clock challenge. We're going to do a predictions video
of
next week. Yeah, next week for WrestleMania. Am we excited for that match? Are you excited for that? I would be.
I'll be excited.
My opinion
for one of them.
Yeah. My opinion is I'd be more excited for that match if it was just Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. Obviously, we'll get to SmackDown. There's some news coming out of SmackDown this week, but like I say, I'd be more interested in it if it was just Becky and Ronda. That's my personal opinion, but obviously we'll see what happens next week. There could be some developments, or there might not be some developments. We'll have to see what happens. Anyway, next it was supposed to be Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush, but Lio Rush is selling an injury, and it ended up being Jinder Mahal. The stipulation was that if Finn Balor beat them two in a handicap match, he would have a match for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania.
Wait,
and what did he do?
It?
He did win it, yes, he did beat them. He beat both Jinder Mahal and he beat Bobby Lashley. So now he's got a match at WrestleMania. We did say this last week, or a couple of weeks ago, that we thought that Finn Balor would probably have a match against Bobby Lashley for that Intercontinental title. And I dare say we might have a Demon King appearance, possibly. After that we had Aleister Black and Ricochet versus the Revival again. Again, why are they a team? They're singles competitors, should not be a team. So
Ricochet was a team, not a team, a single. And
he was a single, yes, on
and
NXT.
so was Aleister Black.
Yeah, they were singles competitors in NXT, and I think they work better as single competitors, to be honest, than they do as a tag team. But anyway, Aleister Black and Ricochet won that match. Not really anything worthy to come out of that. Then next we had Drew McIntyre come out and do a promo on Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns then subsequently come out and accepted his match basically at WrestleMania. So now it's going to be.
Drew McIntyre was talking about Roman Reigns' wife and kids.
Yes, and that's what prompted Roman Reigns to attack Drew McIntyre after that promo. So yeah, it's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania now. Again, I don't know if I'm excited for that match or not. we'll have to see. It's Roman Reigns' first single match. Again, it's nice to see him back, but Drew McIntyre, I don't mind Drew McIntyre, but I'm not a big fan of his. But again, we'll see what happens with that match at WrestleMania. It could be one of the best matches they do. Then we had I'm
excited for Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins.
Yes, that's going to be a good one. We learned the Hart Foundation are going to the Hall of Fame. Rightfully deserved. The Hart Foundation, a very good tag team. They are Hall of Fame worthy. Obviously, Jim the Anvil Neidhart obviously passed away. So it's going to be probably Bret Hart and Natalia that accept that at the Hall of Fame, I think. Then we had Baron Corbin doing a poor, to be honest, poor promo, a boring promo about Kurt Angle. Again, hopefully they're swerving us with this match, because I just don't look forward to this match at all. Kurt Angle is having better matches, or when he's having better matches, he's having the matches that he can have at his age. You know, he's not in his prime anymore. He's trying to have these matches with people like AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio next week, but you know, he's not in his prime. He's doing what he can, and that's fair enough. But again, we'll see what happens there. Women's Tag Team Championships got announced. That it's going to be now Boston Hug Connection versus Natalia and Beth Phoenix versus Nia Jax and Tamina versus the Iconics, and I sort of predicted that last week in the video. So that's going to happen.
Who's the Iconics?
The Iconics, they're a tag team on SmackDown.
But who are they?
They're a couple of Australian ladies from, obviously, from SmackDown. They've got a win over Boston Hug. They got a win last week, so they've obviously been put in that match now. Again,
were they in the Women's Elimination Chamber though?
I think they were. I can't remember that far back. There's a lot of things happened since then. Obviously, Baron Corbin had a match against Apollo Crews. He won. Not really much to take out of that, but you know, like I say, I'm not interested to see Baron Corbin, to be honest. He's got no personality, and like a lot of people think, he's boring. Then we got a Seth Rollins promo, which I thought was very good. That promo was a good promo. It got me excited for that match now, saying about Suplex City and going to Suplex City and burning it down. Then Paul Heyman come out. Again, typical Paul Heyman promo, boring. I'm just getting bored of these Paul Heyman promos now. They're the same thing. We had 3 promos now over 3 weeks. Where's the connection? We need to see Lesnar.
And keep on talking about Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I know. He's trying to promote that.
He's trying to
match,
say that Brock Lesnar's going to beat Seth Rollins.
I know.
I know he's not.
Hopefully not. That was basically the gist of Seth Rollins' promo, saying that he needs to beat Brock Lesnar to bring that title back to basically the fans, back to the WWE. Yeah, so I'm excited for that match. Hopefully Seth Rollins is going to win that match. I'd like to see him win it. Again, Paul Heyman's promo.
I'd like to see him win it as well.
Yeah. Again, Paul Heyman's promo, typical promo. It's just typical Paul Heyman promo. Like I say, I want to see Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins. I want to see him connect. I want to see him get into a bit of a scuffle and get him pulled apart, just to build that anticipation a bit more. I'm not feeling it. They need to have them in the same ring, or at the ringside. They need to have them in some sort of physical altercation before that match. If not, the anticipation is just not going to be there. But we'll see what happens next week. After that, we had Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe. Obviously, Kurt Angle won. Again, another quick segment. Then we had Triple H come out and did a promo, trying to build the tension on that match against Batista.
A letter.
He did have a letter. He had a letter from Batista's solicitors, basically asking for.
His lawyer, and it was from his lawyer.
Well, yeah, solicitors, lawyers, the same thing, Kai. So to build that match, at the end we found out that Triple H is now going to add a stipulation to that match, that an hold barred at WrestleMania. He's going to put his career on the line. Obviously, I'm going to do predictions, so I think I'll leave my thoughts about that until the predictions. I do have some thoughts on that, but again, you'll have to tune into that video to see what we think. And then after that, we closed the show. Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre in a last man standing match. Again, I thought a couple of weeks ago Dean Ambrose would be, when he got Claymored through the steps, the railings of the stairs, I thought that might have been his last appearance on Raw, but obviously not. He came back and had a last man standing match. Basically, 8-minute match. a last man standing match in 8 minutes, it's never going to be good. I don't think you need to have a longer match than that. It ended up with Dean Ambrose going through a table and then a Claymore kick for the 10 count, which some reports are now saying that this is now actually going to be Dean Ambrose's very last appearance. Obviously not booked at WrestleMania, got no opponent for WrestleMania, so by the looks of it, we're not going to see him anymore. That could be the end. If that's the end of Dean Ambrose's career in WWE, I think it's a poor way to say goodbye to him after the 5-6 years that he's been there. It's just a bad way to say goodbye. Obviously there's rumours that he might not be going, and there's rumours that he is going, but will remain to be seen. Hopefully this isn't the last time we'll see Dean Ambrose, because again, you're tired, you keep yawning. Again, hopefully this isn't the last we see of Dean Ambrose and they can give him a proper goodbye. SmackDown now. A few bits to come out of SmackDown, so we'll quickly get through them. First of all, the New Day came out, did a promo about quitting. Obviously they're not happy about Kofi Kingston being screwed out of his WWE title shot at WrestleMania. That prompted Vince McMahon then to come out, but before Vince McMahon could get into his promo, that brought out Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. And Daniel Bryan cut, which I thought was a really good promo, about how Kofi's a B+ player and not worthy of the WWE title, mirroring his WWE Championship journey from a few years ago, and I thought it was a really good promo. That prompted then Vince McMahon to turn around to Big E and Xavier Woods and ask them, are you a B+ tag team? We'll find out when you do a gauntlet match later on in the show. And obviously if they won that gauntlet match, then Kofi Kingston would finally get his title shot at WrestleMania. After Charlotte versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte went and won the title, which now throws up a few what's going to happen now. What are they going to do now? There's one or two things that could happen next week. One could be that Charlotte now gets taken out of that match and has a match on WrestleMania on her own against Asuka for a rematch possibly, and then it's going to be Becky versus Ronda for the title, which could, to be fair to me, I think is the better match out of the two. I think they should do it that way. Or they could be joining them two titles together and having just one women's championship. Is that now where they're going to go? We'll have to obviously wait until WrestleMania to find out, or next week to find out. But again, a shock there. I didn't know. Maybe Asuka's injured as well. Don't really know why they've done that, but obviously that'll be explained over the next week or two. Then after that we had Kurt Angle again, a match against AJ Styles. Again, Kurt Angle's trying to do the best he can with the opponents at his age. The match didn't really have a conclusion as Randy Orton then came out to interfere, and then Kurt Angle ended up angle slamming Randy Orton, and then that was the end of that sequence.
Because the match was an interference match.
Yeah, he interfered in the match, yep. The Miz came out and cut a promo on Shane McMahon. Again, to be fair, I'm not really too interested in that match. We'll see what happens. They announced it was a Falls Count anywhere, so my opinion is Shane McMahon's going through a table, or the Miz is going through a table, or Shane McMahon is going to go through Miz through a table. Whatever way, Shane McMahon's going through a table. That's basically why they've done that. That's why I think they've done that. And then we get to the New Day's Gauntlet match. The first competitors was Gallows and Anderson, who they pinned to win. Then they went on to Rusev and Nakamura, who they again pinned to win. Then they went on to The Bar, who they then pinned to win. And The Bar then attacked the New Day to sort of set up an obstacle, I think. That then brought out the Usos, who decided that because of all the battles that they've had with the New Day, they feel that Kofi Kingston really deserves that title match, so they forfeited the match. And then they went to one more set of opponents, who turned out to be Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Obviously, Kofi Kingston last week didn't beat Daniel Bryan, but this week it was a count-out finish. They put Rowan over the table, and then they pulled the announce table on top of him and rolled in the ring for the 10 count, and then finally now Kofi Kingston's now in that main event, which I've been saying for weeks. I said that he'd get there eventually, and he's finally now in that match. Obviously I honestly do think, obviously we've got a predictions video that's going to be coming up at some point next week. I honestly think that Kofi Kingston is now going to be the WWE champion. He's got a week until that's probably going to be made, especially when they're sort of mirroring Daniel Bryan's story by calling him a B+ player. That's kind of now sort of, they're basically sort of hyping it up now that maybe Kofi Kingston's now going to be the champion. like I say, that was just the week that was WWE. There's a few little points there, obviously going into next week and then WrestleMania, so we ain't got very long until WrestleMania. But like I say, that's the highlights and the top stories coming out. Obviously, I'm a little bit more excited for the Seth Rollins Brock Lesnar match because of Seth Rollins' promo on Raw. I thought that was a very good promo, especially when he said he's going to go to Suplex City and burn it down.
Seth win.
Yeah, and hopefully Seth will win that. Obviously going to Suplex City and burning it down. I've got really excited, but from Paul Heyman's perspective, I wasn't really excited about it from that side. Becky Lynch, there's a little bit more sort of forward momentum going, a little bit more there. Again, Becky Lynch's injury storyline has sort of vanished now, so obviously that's not going to affect her going into WrestleMania. No real movement with the Kurt Angle storyline, to be honest. They're still hinting, it's still saying it's going to be Baron Corbin. Hopefully not. And then obviously Kofi Kingston is now in that main event, so they've obviously fully now fledged out. I expect like a Kofi Kingston promo next week just to hype that match up a little bit more. But like I say, that's the week that was WWE. If you like this video, then please give us a like, comment and subscribe. And I'll put all the social media links in the description as always. And I think we'll leave it there, won't we? And we'll see you in the next video. So I'll say goodbye and say goodbye, Kai.
Bye.
Goodbye.